Right, welcome to the Touchline. We're at the business end of the group stage, and today we have Portugal versus France. It's Ronaldo versus the so-called protege Mbappe. And we have our panelist Andy from the Tactics Show and Shine from Stat Attack. Go to the description and find out and know more about them. And with further ado, let's start the show. How important is this match for both the sides?
It's more important for Portugal than France, as France has already got 4 points. So they are some. It can be said that they are already qualified, but it's tough for Portugal. Like if today somehow Hungary wins, then Hungary will reach 4 points, and in head-to-head, Germany will be third and Portugal will be eliminated. So it's a must. At least they need to salvage a point from this match. Lose is not an option.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
actually,
Nandi, what do you think?
this game is much important for France too. I mean, whom they want to face in the next round is quite important for them as well. So they want to be the champion of the group and face a lesser opponent. But if they gain 4 points and become the second in the group, or maybe the third in the group, then the equation can be a bit tricky for them for the upcoming round. So in that aspect, the game is important for France as well. And as for Portugal, they have already had a loss, so they are psychologically a bit down. I mean, they have got thrashed by Germany in the last match, so they have a bit of a psychologically downfall. So I think they are not gonna be in a good shape to start this match. But I hope they will bounce back this match, and we'll have to see a great entertaining match this time. And this group, actually, this last day is going to be the best day of Euro till now. I mean, after watching the match of Portugal, Sweden and Poland, that was a grand
Yeah.
finish. Some last minute goal from Sweden saw them through. That was some grand finish of the match, and this last match day is quite interesting. And I hope the last two matches won't be disappoint us.
Uh, so talking about this match, are we going to have a Sue moment today? Is there any chance of that?
Yes, of
There
course it
obviously.
is. Of course it is. I mean, that guy is. I mean, you can keep Ronaldo out of the game, but you can't keep Ronaldo out of scoring goals. So that's a thing that has happened from last few years, where he haven't kept an impact in the games, but still scored one or two and decided the match on his own. So that's the thing France have to be aware of, and they should not leave the space for Ronaldo to capitalize. And otherwise, they can be the third team in the group as well.
The group is really in a lot of turmoil, and anything can happen. So we've got the lineup. So let's go through the lineups. Let's start with Bonjour. This is how the World Cup winners are going to line up. Looks like a solid team to me, but what do you make of the position of Tolisso? I think Deschamps just lied.
Yes,
I
I
think
think.
This can't be his position.
Yeah.
it's a like to like swap with Rabiot, I think.
Yes,
All
I
right.
can agree with Dotto. Actually, Torito will start in the midfield, and Griezmann will drop, or Griezmann can deep into the right side of the field. So that's what a tactical thing I think Deschamps has played with the opponent.
All right. So and let's quickly go through the Portugal lineup. Uh, Looks good. Good to see Renato Sanchez back in the squad as a starter. The last time out, when he was deployed at the last moment, he did cause a lot of problems to his former teammates. Uh, but this looks like a good squad to me. Uh, we have an early comment here. What about benching Bruno? Do you think if it is justified or not?
I mean,
Nandi, why don't you go for it?
yeah. I mean, if you go through the tournament and see that Bruno's impact on Portugal, there are two steps in the two matches. Like in the first match, he was quite influential, and he probably had the best chances, and he scored. He's got almost got three assists to Jota, but Jota squandered all of them. And in the next match, whole of the Portugal team got trapped in the German midfield, and there are not much of progressive passing and all. So Bruno's game was not much impactful. So looking at this, Portugal's setup is to be blamed, I feel, and I think Bruno has been scapegoat here, and the likes of Moutinho. I don't think Moutinho will have that much of an impact like Bruno will have in the advanced areas of the pitch. It's still a bit of a defensive approach which Renato Sanchez has taken. Sorry, Fernando Sanchez has taken, and yes, the inclusion of other Santos will be capitalizing Portugal in this match. I mean, as we have already decided in the last match, discussed in the last match that Renato Sanchez inclusion can easily change the match, and which he did, like setting a shot into the bar as well. So
Oh,
that's the thing. Few things
brilliant.
which we have to look for today.
Shayan, what do you think about the addition of Renato Sanchez?
Like Renato Sanchez, this is the best lineup I think Portugal have chosen. Inclusion of Moutinho can be a controversial thing, as last match Bruno wasn't in his best form, as Nandi said he was trapped in the midfield. And I think Fernando Santos is going for again for safe option, as he's very much comfortable. He has played with Moutinho for a more number of matches than he has played with Bruno Fernandes. So I think he's going for a safer option that was successful for him in the last Euros. And Renato Sanchez, I think, should have been played last match. It would have been a better lineup for Portugal if Renato Sanchez. So it's a. I knew this change was coming. Either Pereira or Carvalho would be replaced by Renato Sanchez.
Right, we have a
Mm,
question from Akash Peswas. Are we going to see Felix today? Yeah,
From the last three matches, what we have seen is Santos is not a really big fan of Felix. So I don't think he will be subbing him in, or maybe if it's a winning position like Portugal has already scored 2 or 3 goals, then he might bring Felix in. But I don't think if it's a tight spot, Felix will come on because Santos does don't trust him that much.
all right. Nandi, let's start with your magic. Let's see the
yeah, I mean,
dynamics of the game.
let's answer the question a bit dynamically. So if we go through, I mean, let's see if Felix starts here. I mean, if Felix comes in from of Jota. So are you able to hear me? I don't think my computer is
Yes,
working
yes,
clearly.
Yeah,
Yes. So
yeah,
if
it's good.
suppose Jota is subbed off with Felix, so Felix can start here. And the thing is, Portugal is playing without a number 10 today, for sure. I mean, Moutinho will not be kind of a number 10. He will have the same
All
kind
right,
of a position with Sanchez, like both will go into advanced areas, but neither of them will be able to take the zone 14 areas, which Bruno could be, like playing just behind Ronaldo. So Felix can do that. Felix can get into these zone 14 areas as well, cutting in. So which can actually take Guerrero into this kind of a position, and Guerrero's crossing abilities are really good. As we see in the last match that France conceded a goal against Hungary from this kind of an area. Probably that is one of the reasons why Conde is starting today. The vulnerability which Pavard showed in this kind of an area where he got beaten and Varane lost the foot race and got conceded against Hungary. So this is an area where Portugal can actually capitalize. And if Guerrero comes into this kind of an area and tucks a cross into the box, who knows? That Ronaldo on his day can beat any one of the defenders in the world. His jumping abilities, and he can score actually. So that's the thing. What Felix can do in the midfield, and Felix's dynamism of taking those mans. Felix is kind of a magician. I mean, at his age, he's one of the best in the world already. So that's a pretty important question from one of our contestants. So I think Felix can be actually one of the best inclusions that Portugal can take into their game.
all right. We have a few more questions. Bikram Chaudhary asks, why is Semedo starting even after such dreadful performances? Thank you, Semedo, for whatever you've done for the German national team. It means a lot. But
uh,
let's get serious. And yeah, I would have the same question. Why is
today's a
he
fascinating match. Semedo will be going up against Mbappe.
exactly? That's one of the reasons that even I'm confused with him in the starting lineup.
Yes.
Like it will be fun watching Semedo play against Mbappe. No insult, not insulting Semedo.
Of course,
Yes.
uh, Oishij Mukherjee has a question. Doesn't it show that Santos Portugal is going for a draw? with inclusion of Moutinho, and when France have speed, if they score early, then doesn't the Moutinho plan backfire? What do you think?
Yes,
No,
I
actually,
think it's 50-50.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shine, just go
yeah.
ahead.
Go
I'm
ahead.
not agreeing with that, because if he were to, like, I think he went for a defensive approach in the first two matches by playing two defensive midfielders in Pereira and Carvalho. I think today he's taking some steps ahead. He'll be trying to attack. And the thing that we saw about France is that France really struggles if they have to attack the opposition from the first half. Like, if the opposition plays deep, defense deep, and stays in their corner, then France really struggles. But if the opposition team gives starts going up, like what Germany did, they kept on attacking and kept a high line. High line is the one thing that France really depends upon an opposition's team. So I don't think today that they will get from Portugal today. Portugal will sit back like they did in the 2016 final. They will sit back and they will try to do that. For that, I think Renato Sanchez is an attacking option for that. Due to that, because as Renato Sanchez can carry the ball, he's a proper ball carrier and a box-to-box midfielder. He can carry the ball. He can provide passes, and he can, even the thing what he can do is he can dribble past two three opponents, and he can stick a shot from try a steamer from 30 yards out. What he did against Germany, and he almost scored. So I think putting on Renato is a very much attacking move.
All right, that actually makes sense because we did see France capitalizing on the high backline of Germany, and we all know Germany didn't concede more because of those marginal offsides. Else, the scoreline would have been way different than 1-0. Definitely not 1-0. And yes, it's going to be a challenge to think to see this. It's going to be a fascinating match. I really can't point out what to see and what not to see, but we'll go through it one by one. Shubha and Roy says, don't you think Dias is taking unnecessary pressure?
Absolutely. I mean, Dash is not taking. If Dash doesn't take unnecessary pressure, then why Portugal is? I mean, it's the coach's fault. To playing Pepe. Uh, if you remember Abhishek, in the last day before the pre-match show, I have already discussed that Nabri will have a good day against Pepe, and he did that. I mean, he beat him quite some times as well. So playing a 35, 38-year old and not playing a 34 or 35-year-old who has just won the league and been one of the best defenders of the league is a sin. It's a sin for me. So that's why the unnecessary pressure is having on Diaz, and Diaz have to take those. I mean, he have to live in those areas where Guerrero is living. I mean, both those fullbacks have a knack of going forward and not coming down on with time. So that's an area where Diaz is taking unnecessary pressure. Yes, and if he doesn't take unnecessary pressure, the score would have been much more gullible than this. So that's what I feel. I think Diaz is having one of the bad tournaments technically. I mean, as already he has, I guess, two own goals in his name, but he was good. I mean, he tried to stop those crosses and all, so you can't actually blame him.
Like,
That's a good way to
uh,
put it. Yeah,
Diaz is also
Shine, go
taking
ahead.
pressure because Guerrero. Like, the point about Guerrero is more of a Trent Alexander-Arnold type fullback, not a Robertson type fullback. He goes up and doesn't track back that well. His attacking and crossing abilities are much better than his defensive abilities. So due to that, like, lots of times what we have saw in the last match, that Gnabry was taking spaces from Guerrero. Gnabry was able to go in one-on-one positions with Diaz, like, that the thing was. And when Nabri was taking one-on-one positions, the thing about Pepe was he wasn't able to match the pace of Havertz. That's why Havertz were taking some really good spaces, which Pepe should have been able to, if he was in his peak, which he should have been able to mark. So the point about Diaz is that he had to put a zonal marking and defend both Havertz and Gnabry, and with no help that was being provided from Guerrero.
Yes.
And that's actually tough, considering the speed of both the players and the intelligence and the brilliance of both the players. It's forced to reckon with. Uh, Akash Biswas says, good point, coach. Andy Fontish could have been a good addition. Yes, I'd agree. So, coach Pep Guardiola, why don't you just show us the movements and the loopholes and the way France and Portugal might attack.
Okay, so I don't think what France's approach will be. I mean, in the last day, France played against Hungary, where I mean, if you look at Portugal, Portugal's defensive shape will be something like this. In defense, they will have something like of a 4-5-1. So they will sit back and wait for France's players to come, and they will try to get them into, I mean, get them behind their defense and take advantage of Ronaldo's speed and all. So I think, but I don't think. But one thing is, like Germany did, Germany have kept a lot of areas in this kind of zones, which was capitalized by Ronaldo. I mean, if you remember in the first goal, the likes of Bernardo just keep on a man and crossed a through ball into this kind of an area, and the whole defense was naked. The whole German defense was naked, and that was a simple tap in for Ronaldo. So I don't think
Right.
France's defense will give them that kind of a space, because Didier Deschamps always prefers to settleize his defense first and then go for win. Because when you have such kind of a squad, you can that kind of can take that kind of risk as well. So the thing is, yes, Portugal will have. I mean, like if you remember last day, Portugal. I mean, Semedo was had a shambolic day, and their defensive line was too narrow, so that allowed both the fullbacks to tuck into this kind of an area and have a cross. Yeah, and if you remember that, directly across came from Kimmich into this kind of an area, and Gosens came into box. A left wing back is coming into box and scoring a header. That speaks
Correct.
volume about the defensive vulnerabilities of Portugal. I think this is the some kind of an area which France can actually capitalize, and this movement of rotation between Griezmann, Mbappe, and Benzema, that can actually harm them as well. And again, Pepe, I don't know why, we have already discussed that. So if Griezmann cuts into this kind of an area, and if then that can be some kind of a massacre for Portugal as well. And as for Portugal, they also have something to play for. Like Portugal always plays good when they place those long balls into this kind of an areas, or kind of this kind of an areas, so they can get past the defense and take their runs behind the defense and start their attack. So Ronaldo will be a key man for them. I don't know what Ronaldo's role today is gonna be. Either of a whole man, of a holding man, and allowing other two center forwards or the wing backs or the wingers to run into this kind of a channel, or linking up with this kind of a man and running into this kind of spaces. I don't know what. But yes, France do have a vulnerability in this kind of an areas, because the likes of Griezmann actually starts into the white spaces sometimes, but he drops into the central midfield. So that keeps, I mean, that will keep Konde to cover such long flanks. That can be tricky for the young man. And if he doesn't get much support from Pogba or maybe the nearest midfielder in the form of Kante, then that can be actually a room of area for Portugal to capitalize in. So that's the two kind areas where both the teams can capitalize.
All right. It sounds very complicated, and I don't know how they'll implement this, but it also makes sense at the moment. At the same time, we have a comment here from Bikram saying, as we can see, playing Danilo and Carvalho was a bad idea. Did this put few limitations to Bruno's gameplay? Why don't
Absolutely,
mm,
absolutely.
uh,
I will try to show you one thing here. I mean, in the front match, in last match, what Germany was doing is Germany was placing with kind of a five man. So that
correct?
put, I mean, kind of a five man. So that means both their fullbacks were high. But the thing is, Portugal's defense and midfield were not being able to get off the line, and this gives a lot of gap into this kind of an area. So they are linking up between their attack and the midfield was not proper. So which kept the likes of Bruno Fernandes into an isolation, and he was closed down by the man. So he had a field day. And when we have two destroyers in the field, you can't expect them to break this kind of an area and get past those man with a trickery and get the ball moving, which Sanchez could have done and which he did after coming on. And that's actually a thing which kept Bruno Fernandes into bay. and that's why I feel Bruno Fernandes's performance was not that good. And he was good when Hungary allowed him to play, because Hungary stayed back and Hungary was not getting that much into their area. So, but today that's going to be a different ballgame for him, and I still think I'm still skeptical of substituting Bruno Fernandes with Joao Moutinho. Don't know whether Joao Moutinho will put me wrong or not, but let's see.
All right. I think this is a counter comment that triggers the trick. Unlike 2016, this cool-minded strategy can actually kill the opponents. Yes. Uh, Akash Biswas also said, aren't France hiding their strength, or they're actually fumbling despite being a lot behind their best? They're super calm.
Yeah, that can be a bit of a fatigue as well. I mean, as I seen in the match, they were not that good, not that superior with their fitness as well. I feel they were not being able to get past those Hungary defense, and their gameplay in the midfield area was not that swift. So, yes, they have not been jailed, I think. So, don't know what's gonna happen today. If they are not in the best form, that can be a different result for Portugal too.
All right. So, what are the strong points, like the most strong points for Portugal, with which they can surely capitalize on France?
The strength about Portugal in today's match is obviously Renato Sanchez. I think he will be the key player today. Renato Sanchez and Bernardo Silva. As we saw, Bernardo Silva was one of the most attacking players of Portugal, as he was taking runs and he was just causing some troubles for the wingbacks of Germany. I think Bernardo Silva will be a good trouble for them, as he can put on nice crosses for both Jota and Ronaldo. He can play a defense splitting pass also. He drops down. He becomes an extra, provides as an extra man in the midfield also. So Bernardo Silva and Renato Sanchez are the two threats, obviously. And there's the man Ronaldo. He thrives on pressure. The more pressure you throw at
Yes.
him, I think he will score. Like everyone knows today that Ronaldo will score today.
Yes. Scored last time. He scored against Hungary and, of course, against France. I think he will be looking forward to scoring and teaching Mbappe a thing or two, I guess. Uh, Ruptirtha Mukherjee says, see, if Portugal doesn't lose more than a difference of 3 goals, they qualify. And what happened against Germany, these players and formation is the best 11 as far as the situation is concerned.
No,
What
I
are your
don't
thoughts?
agree with the first line that if Portugal doesn't lose more than difference of 3 goals, they qualify. No, if Portugal lose and Hungary wins, then Portugal will be fourth and Germany will be third, as its head-to-head is taken before goal difference. So Portugal is getting eliminated. So I don't think they need to salvage at least a point from today's match. If they went on to lose, it's up to Hungary, and they are the underdogs on that match. So I don't think they will qualify with that.
All right. Fair point. Shubha and Roy, if I'm not wrong, both teams just need 1 point to see through the next round. So the time might not go all out this time. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Definitely, this group is very fascinating, and of course, one of the best in the Euros. Like at least the Euros that I have seen till now. Uh, let's head down to uh, the strong points of France, and they are an all-star team to be honest, but uh, can how much can they hurt Portugal?
The strong point about for France today is Semedo, Semedo and Mbappe.
Yeah,
Mbappe will run riots on Semedo. I'm sorry to say, but he'll completely destroy Semedo. I think Mbappe will take put on one positions with Semedo. He'll cut in. He'll provide balls for Benzema. And like the thing is that whenever Portugal gets on a counter attack, the thing is that whenever Portugal gets on a counter attack, and let's see that Kante intercepts the ball, plays it to Pogba, and Pogba feeds it straight to Mbappe, and Mbappe is one on one 2v1 against Semedo and Pepe. he easily outpaces Semer, then only Pepe is left, and Pepe doesn't have that much pace in this age.
Right. So
So
I think Mbappe might get on the score sheet today, considering the lineup of Portugal and the threat he possesses. Uh,
Yes.
Finally, what's your scoreline prediction? We're going to do that at the end, a few minutes from now. Oishij Mukherjee, Rabiot didn't perform to the mark, and does the inclusion of Tolisso means Deschamps is making a statement, take revenge for the 2016 final by going all out? This is a big one.
if Deschamps goes all out, I think it will backfire for him, because Portugal likes to, like same as France. Portugal also likes to, when the opposition is going all out and plays a high defensive line, because then defense fitting pass and Ronaldo is through. If he goes all out, it can easily backfire. And the thing that I can also say is that the way England is playing, they are the group toppers, and I think from this group, the team that gets second will play against England in round of 16. I think all the three teams there wants to face England, as they are not really performing well.
All right, makes sense. Makes sense. Uh, it's not always revenge here. Argun399 is saying, watching you guys from Texas. Are you guys going to live commentary too? Hi, Argun from Texas. Thank you for watching, but no, we're not going to do live commentary. And most likely, I'll be watching the Germany match.
Yes.
But then,
Hmm. Same here.
uh, we will definitely enjoy, and we'll get start doing this again when the knockout stage resumes. Now it's time for the stats. Let's start with Ronaldo. This goat here. Shayan, why don't you go ahead?
The stats speaks for 3 goals and an assist in 2 matches, in which one of the match they have lost 4-2. Shows that what a player he is for Portugal. And that I said earlier, that he's a big man player, and today is the biggest match for Portugal in this group stage. So I think he will score. The stats speaks of themselves. Like he has succeeded five out of 6 dribbles. The way the dribble size may show less, but the thing is how Ronaldo plays in present days is he plays with the last man of defense. He stays at the shoulder of the defender. So if he gets in one-on-one position, and he can easily dribble past, the dribble success rate is very high. 5 out of 6 is really good. He can easily dribble past one of the defender and score a, and we know about his strikes. He can score a wonder goal. So is
Yes.
good. And the thing, another thing about Ronaldo is what we saw in the second goal. Second goal against Germany, just that stretch. The ball, most of the players will be think that the ball was going dead, but he pulled that back out of nowhere and created a chance for Jota.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Even that came out of nowhere.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
I have become a Ronaldo fanboy again after yesterday's match. After the match against Germany.
And the thing is, just say honestly, how many times did you see Ronaldo in the match? You see on those occasions where Ronaldo was performing, scoring a goal or giving an assist. That's what Ronaldo has become. He will
All
score
right,
a goal.
controversy alert.
Yes,
Controversy alert.
The thing about Ronaldo is with the first goal, he cleared the ball in within 15 seconds. He was
yes,
at a
yes,
position to score just a simple tap in.
yes. And after that, he was nowhere seen in the match. But then again, he gave an assist. That's what the impact of Ronaldo is, and that can actually decide the match today.
I can't deny that. Gunjan Chakraborty says, Hook, Hook, watch along, Suru Hook. Uh, Not today, I think, but
Yeah,
definitely we'll try to do it
today.
in the
Yes,
knockout phase,
knockout.
the
Yes,
big games.
definitely.
Argan399 says, thank you so much. Argan, thank you for watching. We should be thanking you for this. Hope you
Yes,
are enjoying.
some
Uh,
international spectator. That's good to see.
International spectator, yes.
Good to see.
Bikram Chaudhary, it's Goat's birthday. Ronaldo should give something tonight. Maybe a
Yes.
bunch of hair. I don't know. By the way, it's Zidane's birthday today. Uh, they do share a very good relationship, and
No,
these
no,
are
no. Actually, they are trying to say it's Messi's birthday today. It's
Messi's
12,
birthday.
12:05, so
it,
that's what he's trying to
it's
say.
it's not Messi's
It,
birthday today.
Yes, it's Lionel
today's
Messi's
Messi's
birthday.
birthday.
Yes, it's 12:05
Today.
in Indian time.
Yeah,
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
it's 24th.
yes,
yeah.
All
12:06.
right.
So it's Lionel Messi's birthday. That's what he's
All
saying.
right. So as a gift, I think Ronaldo is going to score a hat trick today. Um, let's see.
Being a Germany fan, I am
Oishish,
afraid of Messi's birthday.
yeah, but then 2014 was a good player.
Uh,
Oishish Mukherjee, since Portugal and France both are sort of counter-attacking, will Kante and Pogba versus Moutinho and Pereira will make a difference tonight? Yes, Kante, Pogba, I think uh, whenever France is playing, they are one of the most important players
yes,
Kante
on the
Pogba are the
field.
best midfield duo in Europe
yes.
this year's Euro, even
And
in the
and
World Cup.
why don't you show the stats as well? I mean, that can actually
Yes,
be good for us to
correct.
understand.
Going with Kante, Shayan, just do you think?
In
It's
two
crazy
matches,
stats, man.
he has completed 106 passes. Way he plays in France is a destroyer role. In and destroyer role, he has completed 106 passes. And in the first match, we know that France were in the second foot. They had only 38% possession. And in the second match, they had position, but 106 passes in two matches for a destroyer is really good stats. Then there are 8 tackles, 7 interceptions. This man is insane.
Yes,
143 touches. Like today is being a counter-attacking team. What he said, today's match will be important as Kante is one of the most crucial part of counter-attack as he can regain position and
Yes.
feed it to Pogba. Pogba can play a pass for Mbappe. Or even what we have seen in Chelsea is that Kante is really good with the ball. He can dribble past one or two midfielders, and he can himself feed a ball for Mbappe or Benzema. So this shows that the thing about Kante is that he will not give a bit of space. I think today will be a matchup against Kante versus Renato Sanchez. So it will be a fascinating matchup. Kante will
yes,
not be given a bit of space to Renato Sanchez. This is 50 pressures.
yes.
And
Just
another
look at
thing
those.
is
Just look at those recoveries, man. That's
20
ridiculous.
recovers.
That's ridiculous. I mean, I remember in last day when they were playing Germany, Kante got into. I mean, his body weight was on the right side of the area, and Gundogan was coming from the left, and he suddenly transfers his body weight into the right and stops Gundogan. I mean, that was sumptuous to see. I mean, what a player, man! What a player! Being a rival fan, that he's a treat to watch.
And even
Yes.
three aerial duel balls. He's a pretty short player to win three aerial duels.
Exactly.
Absolutely,
Even he
he's
won
possibly
aerial
5 foot
duels.
five. And he's
Yeah.
possibly 5 foot 5, and he wants those aerial balls like, oh my god, he's like, that's ridiculous.
Like he's a
And
cheat code. France has two cheat codes, Mbappe and Kante.
yes,
Oh,
I think I'm
and
stuck.
Pogba
I
too.
think I'm stuck.
Yeah,
Am I stuck?
Yeah,
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 yeah.
you're a bit stuck. Yeah, so
All right. It looks good. But like, let's continue. We have a high end setup, so these things always happen.
yeah,
Pogba. Let's go with Pogba now.
3 out of 5 tackles, 27 pressures, 2 blocks, 5 interceptions, 75 passes, 3 shots. The thing about Pogba is that 75 passes thing. What we saw against Germany is that Germany played the offside line very well. That's why Mbappe couldn't score, or there were large number of chances that Mbappe got from the passes of Pogba. So the Pogba's biggest threat from Pogba is his long balls. Uh, and the other thing about is 27 pressure, 5 interceptions. The thing we saw against Germany is that Pogba put really good pressure over Cruz. Due to that, France had large number of chances. Cruz wasn't able to cope up with
absolutely.
the pressure that Pogba was providing. So Pogba is key. But the thing about Pogba and Kante is they complement both of them really well, but each other really well. So Pogba, Kante gets an interception, passes it to Pogba, or the
Yes,
Pogba can easily go up the field due
yes,
to
and
as he knows Kante is behind him.
yes,
Yeah,
and Pogba and Mbappe has the same kind of a connection which Pogba and Rashford have. I mean, whenever Pogba gets the ball, Rashford just gets his head down and starts running. Mbappe also has the same kind of a capability, and Mbappe has a bit of a more speed, so they can actually make France more vulnerable, make Portugal more vulnerable as well. So let's go through some other comments as well. I have seen that Akash Pishas has said that yes, a little demand for the knockouts. Please arrange shows before every game, if not in round of 16. Do it regularly from quarterfinals at least. The touchline has been a nice show to enjoy and discuss football. A big thank you to Abhishek, and oh, Abhishek has come. A big thank
Yeah,
you to
finally.
Akash. for giving this kind of an advice to us. Yes, we will try to cover as many matches as possible. Having a full-time job and having other responsibilities, we have not been able to cover other matches. So we'll try to do that from the knockouts too.
All right. Let's let's take. Prakash is saying big match.
Yes,
Borda will score today. Messi's birthday, so looking forward to a hat trick from him, from that guy. Uh, all right. So I think we are at the business end of not only the group stage but of the show as well. This is the last group stage analysis
sure.
that
Yes,
we are
yes,
doing. So let's head down to the predictions.
yeah.
Let's
So
start with
for
Nandi.
me, it will be 2-1 France.
Two
For
one France.
yeah, I think Borda or Ronaldo will score one, and two
Bordas.
from two from Mbappe.
All right. 2-1 for France. That's Nandi. Shayan.
I think today again Portugal will concede 4 goals. And the thing I'm saying is that because of again Mbappe versus Senegal, I think Portugal will concede again 4 goals. I think the score will be 4-2 or 4-3, with Ronaldo being on the scoreline and Mbappe for France. Mbappe and Benzema for France.
Uh, I personally have a gut feeling, though I want Ronaldo to score, but I think the score is going to be 3-0 in favor of uh, France. And Mbappe will score more than one goal. And
Okay,
also, Benzema might get on the score sheet as well.
okay, okay.
All right, so Feisty has predicted
Oh my God!
France
Again, this guy again with his tricks.
4-1 for France. This looks like France. Greasy, Mbappe, and Benzema 2 goals. All right, it has been recorded. It's on live, and we'll see who wins.
Yes,
Till now,
and
his
ask
prediction
him
has been pretty close.
yes, and ask him which prediction app is this? Is it MPL or Dream 11 or something
And
like that? I don't
ask
know
him
what
how
is
much
it.
money he will get if it get
Yes,
correct.
yes, yes. Oh my
Because I
God!
think I think we we have big sponsors in this particular show, so I think Feisty Uchia can actually help us
Yes, yes,
with all his
absolutely,
MPL
absolutely.
and Dream 11 money he has.
Yes, yes.
Uh, just before we just end this show, it's almost like 17 minutes to kick off. Just want to know what are your thoughts on Hungary versus Germany? What can be the scoreline in that match?
Look. I'm a neutral here, so I want Hungary to win. Obviously, that would
All right,
take them
as
into
underdog,
the next round.
underdog
Yes,
team.
yes, of course, and that will take them into the next round possibly with having 4 points and being one of the third place teams. So that will be another underdog story like 2004 possibly. And the thing is, obviously, everyone. I mean, the fans like you will obviously want Germany to win, but obviously that's gonna be another cracking match today. I'm expecting that.
All right, is the prediction because of Hungary being the underdog team, or is it because you're an Argentina fan?
No, not really. That do not have any kind of a connection.
All
I
right,
knew
all
that
right,
you are gonna ask me this kind of a question, but no, I'm just telling from a neutral point of view.
all right. Prakash, 2-1 for like just mention the team, then we'll understand. Bikram
Yeah,
Chaudhary says Germany wins 4-0 tonight, France wins 2-0. Let's go. Uh, Hopefully, this happens. Akash Biswas says 4-1 for Germany. All right. This looks good.
yeah.
But all right,
Whatever they
guys,
are saying comes true.
hopefully, I think we've done. Thank you for all the viewers for sticking with us till the end and watching this. It means a lot to us and also motivates us to find time from whatever we do and do this, as we also enjoy this good time for with you guys. Chatting with you guys is life feels good. And before we leave, do check out the Tactics Show and Stat Attack for Tactics Show if you want like proper analysis, player analysis, team analysis, in depth, like, like good shit. So just you can just find it in the link. And for stats, if you want, in our shows, when we use these charts and these particular charts, when we use them, it's from Stat Attack, and there are numerous more there on the Twitter handle. So I've given the link in the description. So do make sure go and check them out and hit the follow. And I think that's about it for all of you who enjoyed. Leave a comment, and if possible, share this with your friends, and hit the like button. And till then, let's get our beverages ready. It's time for the final anticipated match of the Euro group stage.
Good night.
So good night, guys. Good night.